Hi everybody, this is Kaur and welcome to my channel. I'm back with my quarterly book reviews and recommendations for fall, or if you prefer autumn, 2019. As you might know from my summer 2019 recommendations video, I'm always looking for stories that I can relate to and read from my heart. And each one of the books that I'm talking about here has become a part of my all-time favorites shelf. If you like what you see, then please consider subscribing by clicking the red button below and the bell icon right next to it so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. I'll give you a brief synopsis of the book and then share some of my thoughts and feelings. I have 5 recommendations for this season and a couple of bonuses that I'm really excited about. Now remember, I love all these books equally, so please don't put any weight into the order that I share them in. I love them all equally. Now let's get started. First up for this season, we have a memoir. The Good Daughter, a memoir of my mother's hidden life by Jasmin Darznik. This book is a beautiful and moving tribute to the secret lives of 3 generations of Iranian women. I personally always wanted to know all the secrets that my mother, grandmothers, and other women in my family might be protecting in their hearts, because each one of those stories has become a crucial ingredient in shaping us as well as our relationships with our family. But sadly, many of us lose those stories to silence and time. I love how this book explores buried pasts to share an unforgettable story about the unbreakable bond between mothers and daughters. If you want to know my story, my mother Lily began, you have to know about Avenue Moniriye, about your grandmother Cobra and your grandfather Sohrab, and what Iran was then. Because we couldn't just do what you do here, forget your name and who you belong to. Our lives were not like that, no. Next, I have The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. I shared another book by this author in the summer 2019 video and have honestly waited for more than 6 years for this book. I had such high hopes for this book that I was actually scared to start reading it. You know when you're so excited about something that you're afraid of being disappointed? That's how I felt about this novel. I went in knowing the general story of Ram and Sita, so I was scared that perhaps reading a story that I'm already familiar with would make this retelling a bit boring. And on the other hand, the feminist in me has despised Ram for years now for the way he treated his wife, and I was expecting this book to prove me right. I was not bored for a second. The way this book is written, it's a beautiful exploration of love in all the complex ways we all experience it in life. This book is every woman's heartbeat as she goes through the various phases and challenges life presents her. It's also a reflection of a woman's will as she struggles to retain her individual identity, honor, and rights. Here, Rishi Valmiki has just allowed Sita to read his epic, the Ramayana. The sage looked at me, curious. "It's very good," I said. "The poetry is superb. The descriptions sublime, the rhythm perfect. You've captured the histories of earth and heaven both. The adventures and the wars, the weddings and the deaths, the betrayals and the farewells, the palace and the forest." But, I said, and I couldn't keep the anger from my voice. "What occurred when I was alone in the darkness, under the sorrow tree, you don't know. You don't know my despair. You don't even know my exhilaration. How it felt, first in the forest and then in Ayodhya, when I was the most beloved woman in creation." Let's move on to a story that takes us from Palestine in 1990 to New York in 2008. A Woman is No Man by Etaf Rum is a novel that will resonate with all of us who come from very conservative immigrant cultures where women live especially sheltered lives. I was born without a voice, one cold, overcast day in Brooklyn, New York. No one ever spoke of my condition. I did not know I was mute until years later, when I opened my mouth to ask for what I wanted and realized no one could hear me. Where I come from, voicelessness is the condition of my gender, as normal as the bosoms on a woman's chest, as necessary as the next generation growing inside her belly. But we will never tell you this, of course. Where I come from, we've learned to conceal our condition. We've been taught to silence ourselves, that our silence will save us. It is only now, many years later, that I know this to be false. Only now, as I write this story, do I feel my voice coming. Let's move on to a lighter, almost rom-com type of novel, The Marriage Clock by Zara Raheem. I picked this book up because I was looking for an easy, light-hearted read, just to give my brain and heart a break from the type of books that I usually read. I definitely got the entertainment and laughter that I was looking for, but I also got a refreshing taste of what feminine independence can really feel like as I read this wonderfully written story. Growing up in a semi-traditional Muslim household, I believed in love wholeheartedly. Love, after all, was Shah Jahan's inspiration for the Taj Mahal. Love was the underlying theme in every Urdu ghazal or shairi ever written. Love was the reason my mother left behind her entire life in India to start afresh with my father, a man she barely knew in America. Love was the sole reason the world turned, why bluebirds sang and fireworks shot into the warm summer sky. It was not just an idea, it was something tangible, felt within my grasp, a whimsical notion looming in the distant future, anxiously waiting to be discovered, like a present still wrapped. And for my fifth recommendation for the season, I wanted to share Lisa C's The Island of Sea Women. Lisa C's novels are always very vivid and well-researched portraits of different parts of Asian life and history. When Mija and I first met, we were such opposites. I was like the rocks of our island, jagged, rough, all edges, but useful and no nonsense. She was like the clouds, drifting, melting, impossible to catch or fully understand. Even though we both became Henyu, I would forever be of the earth in the sense that I was practical and concerned, always for my family. Mija was more like the sea, ever-changing and occasionally tempestuous. Those are the 5 books that made the cut for fall 2019, but I also wanted to share a few bonus books with you. First up is When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhaya Menon. This is definitely a story that I would have read in middle and high school. It's fun, it's funny, and it's a warm, sweet, romantic story that will leave you all positive and happy by the time you get to the last page. And that'll happen pretty quickly. Next up is a book that I'm really excited to be holding in my hands. When You Ask Me Where I'm Going by Jasmin Kaur. This just released on October 1st, so I haven't read it yet, but I am really looking forward to doing that soon, so order it now so we can read it together and then talk about it through social media. All the books are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. And if you love a book that I suggested, then please leave a comment or reach out to me on my other social media channels so we can talk about it. Remember, if you really enjoy a book, then leave a review for it on Amazon or Goodreads, or share it with your friends and followers on social media. This not only helps the author, but it also helps all of us understand and bond with each other a little bit more. And it also allows us to experience more lives than we can in this one body. If you have a book that you've fallen in love with, then please share it with me in the comments below and I'll be sure to check it out. If you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Until next time.